Good morning! Good morning! Ay, may muta pa siguro tanong. Good morning ninyo guys. Ito yung aming room. Good morning everyone. I hope everybody is alright. Happy weekend. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So, ano na tayo? Day 2? Day 2, darling?
Day 2, yeah.
Day 2 on our holiday on we are on the South Island. But now we are on West Coast side.
Yep.
And then we're going to from Franz Josef. We are here in Franz Josef. I have a lot of video from the glaciers. It's hard to pronounce, so ambot lang. To welcome everybody and kagigising lang natin. So yan yung mukha natin. So di ba? Ang ganda-ganda tuwing. So welcome and happy weekend. I hope everybody is okay. So we're going to check out here at 7:40. Oh, 7 o'clock, darling. Oh no, 7:45. The bus. We put the bags outside. 7. Yeah. So that's the plan. That's the plan. So we have to wake up early. But Peter will have breakfast, and I'm not going to have because my stomach is full from last night. So, pero hindi ko na siya pinicturan kasi it's not good. We are in a group of people with young teenagers. Teenagers. So, wala na yung picture. Alright. So, let's go and update ko kayo kung ano pa yung mga activity namin mamaya. Hopefully, I would like to discuss it in details, but it's a bit difficult because yesterday's trip as instead of we have a long rides on the Transalpine train, but we stopped some at where we stopped, darling? Arthur.
Honky Conky.
No, when we
Arthur's Gap.
Arthur's Gap. So we stopped at Arthur's Gap because of something going on with the landslide. I think maybe landslide. So yeah, but we have a bus ride, so it is really an awesome and epic and spectacular, all the amazing there. Yeah, that's all about it. So yeah, have coffee everyone. So good morning and see you again later. Bye bye.
Mountain behind mountain. Yeah, first layer, second layer. There's 4 layers there.
There's more at the water.
Yeah. See, there's one that just comes up straight away.
I think that one there is taller.
Huh?
The farthest one, the big one with a face.
Yeah, that's where Franz Josef is, I think.
The glacier. I think, is that snow? Have a look.
No, I don't think it's snow.
Have a look. Come here, it's snow.
Where?
Come here, have a look. There.
Oh, maybe.
Let's zoom in a little bit. It's snow. Here you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, it is. That
It's
must
snow.
be up near the glacier.
I think that's water.
It could be water.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Look like face.
Yeah. And the sun's just about to come up, I think.
Where the sun come up.
Yeah.
Ah.
I don't know which way is east and north.
That one, that mountain is sharp.
That's very spectacular.
Look at the snow. Alright, get ready for catch bus trip. Outside, there are the ferns. You wanna come back here? I like the hotel too.
The mountains just
And then we're going to ride that Johnston bus, APT Luxury Travel. We're going to ride the bus now.
With your names, so we've added that to the list. Which means that if you put 3 bags or a bag outside your room with no green bag tag on it, and you're happy to keep doing that for the rest of the trip, that's cool, don't do a thing. If you think that you're going to want to bring that bag down with you normally, then please come and see us so we can take the tag off and take that off the list so we're not waiting for you. But yeah, so only the bags with the green bag tag that I gave you should be the ones that go outside the door. Just because sometimes we've been lucky that these days they've been picking them up, because obviously they're with your stuff, but they're not really supposed to. Cool. Done. Alright, so we're leaving the lovely Franz Josef, which is all clouded over above the glacier over there on the left. Now the plan today is we're going to be heading down to the Haast River Safari first. Now I've got 17 of you who have signed up for it, and I've had interest from about 3 to 5 people. Yesterday asked if they could do it. I've got space once again on there for I think 27. So if there's extra people that want to go, that's cool. Just jump off when we're there and just pay for it as everyone else is, and it's fine. Good to go. Now for everyone else, you will be staying on board with Laurie. He'll take you through to the Haast Info Center for a little bit, have a little look around and kill some time and do some toilets. And then you'll be meeting us through at the Roaring Billy Falls. And you'll be able to come down and have a look at us, possibly do a spin in front of you, and we'll get everyone off and then we'll head off again to a place called Nakanoa. So there will be a toilet stop for both teams, essentially when we get to the jet boat. And then we'll be at lunch around about 12 o'clock. So that'll be nice and easy. After that, we'll be heading to Mrs. Jones's food stall in the afternoon, which is where you guys can grab some snacks and fruits and things, and some fresh fruit ice cream, and they might have their winery thing back open if you want to sneak a bottle of wine to the hotel. And then we'll be into Queenstown tonight, depending on how we go, maybe 4:30ish. We'll see how the day runs. But we don't really have to rush into Queenstown, but we'll get there nice and early so you guys can go off and have some dinner and things. There's quite a lot of info about the next 2 days to give to you. I'll go through it all after we leave Haast, because we'll make it a little bit fresher in your mind. So I'll go over it a couple times, but there's quite a lot to do in Queenstown, and we've also got all your trips and things to organize, that are organized, and to organize you for. So we've got 2 nights in Queenstown, and then the following day we've got an early start again, because we're heading all the way out to Milford Sound. So for that day that we leave Queenstown, it's a 6 o'clock start. I know, bags of breakfast at 6, and then we're leaving at 7. That's an important one, and we do that basically so we can get a little bit ahead of the traffic. As I said, we're kind of lucky because this part of the year, there's not quite as many tours on the road, but so it's quite a lot of people heading to the same places, doing the same stops, and too much trouble. We'll be doing the Milford cruise that day, and then we'll be stopping back in Tiana, which is about we're not actually leaving the hotel till normal checkout time at 10. So we've got a nice sleep in, late breakfast, which is actually going to be quite handy for that day to have a late breakfast because the day is a little bit strange with the travel. We've got a little bit of time killer if we head out to the little bird sanctuary for those interested. But otherwise, we're heading out to the beautiful Doubtful Sound and spending overnight there. So that's kind of the next 4 days. Between Franz Josef and Fox. Not a very long, not a lot of kilometers between the two. So did you sleep okay, Lauren?
Oh yeah, I didn't have it too funny you ask. Oh, yeah.
Licorice pizza.
Licorice pizza. I woke up this morning and all my Michael Jackson records had gone.
Yeah, they don't get better, people.
No.
Licorice pizza.
We got to climb over one of the
Back seats, and they were always free. But then I had some people who said they really liked the back seats. So I think it's because they pretend they're smoking and being naughty down there, aka what these guys said to me this morning. So yeah, 2 front seats are free.
Lots of landslide. Lots of landslide. Beautiful morning. See? Landslide, landslide, landslide.
He used to spend all weekend out here just fossicking around and stuff, but every time he went to his little camp he found that all his knives and forks and spoons were disappearing, and he thought he'd get out here early one day and see what was going on. And there was a couple of Kia were going into his camp area, and they were taking these nice shiny things back to their nests. He followed them and discovered that these Kia were stealing his stuff. They're a real cheeky thing, food. And then once the other one gives the nod, the other one stops dancing, and they both take off and have a big feed. They're real intelligent. I reckon they've got the same mental thing of about a 3 or 4 year old child.
Yeah, they've upped it to a 5, depending on in certain skills. I was with a group, flew it across the street and opened it up and started eating it. And we were all very shocked, and we were watching this kid do that, and then we looked back at the kid and the child, or an 18-year-old Australian, boom. Shots fired, boom. But yeah, they're super cheeky little things. They're kind of my favorite bird. They're just, the fact that they do so much and they kind of come up close. They blend in quite perfectly with these. But if you see them flying, which some of you might have done yesterday when we were at the Death's Corner, they're very bright and orange and very pretty underneath the wings. So yeah, if you can see them flying, the photos from underneath are quite stunning. But the fact that you can get really close to them is actually really cool. So there's a couple spots where we might still see them up close, hopefully, as we cruise through. When we're in Tia now, we've got a bit of time to kill before we actually head out to Doubtful Sound after checkout. So there's a little bird sanctuary down the road, and so we'll take anyone who's interested to go down there. They don't have any Kias in there, so yeah, if we don't see a Kia, you see a Taka. That's kind of close. Or Kaka. No, I forgot the it's a T or a K. Kaka.
Oh, there's another lookout there. Another lookout there. Long and winding road. Lots of ferns. That's not the shiny fern. The other one is the shiny, is the one that you eat. But I don't know here. La, 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 la. Long and winding. The cliffs collapse. Look at that. Lots of ferns. Big mountains over mountains.
And this is just one of them. Just coming up here on the right, and you'll know.
Lots of river and water. Slow vehicle bay. It's like going to Baguio. That's the road up there. Baguio. Lots of ripraping.
To work the hotels and restaurants and cafes and all the activities and helicopter guides and stuff. Fox is probably around 75 people. So yeah, a little bit smaller.
Fox.
So just mainly little accommodations really. On the right, you got the White Pub, which is part of the hotel there. And on the left, you got another pub. There's part of a restaurant there. So basically 2 pubs to service everyone. So that's good. It's a good ratio. But much like Franz Josef, Fox is essentially a gateway to the glaciers, helicopter rides and walks, etc. And as I mentioned, they've struggled quite a lot with that. Their roadways keep getting flooded out and rained out. So they've kind of been on the back foot with the tourism side for a little while now. And Franz has really sort of taken out anyway.
so that's as far as the road came back, right up until 1965. Before that, the road finished.
Cyclist on the road. Lots of landslide. No river like this. No river. No water.
Drive around the top surface,
Mm. Another bridge. You got
Over here, both sides of the coach here, the tannins coming out of
Black River.
the native bush around
Look,
here.
it's black.
And the water black,
Yeah, water.
brown.
Black River.
Back in the early 1900s, late 1800s, and they did a lot of damage. So after the Second World War, the government instigated the deer cullers, and they would go out to shoot deer, chop the tail off, and that's how they got paid, was by the tail, and left the meat out there to rot. Well, a couple of deer cullers were at the pub in Fox there one day, and a German chap came over and started talking to them, and explained what they did for a living. And the guy said, well, give us 6 months, and he says, I'll be back. So yeah, same thing happened. About 6 months later, there was this German fellow turned. Well, there was a few planes around the place, and of course the deer cullers weren't engineers by any means, and they made a few landing strips, and they gutted the planes, and even the pilot was sitting on a bear crate, basically just to make room, get as many carcasses as they can into the little planes. Well, there was all sorts of overloadings and a lot of mishaps and crashes and all that. And then the outside of the helicopter, there would be a shooter and the pilot. Even sometimes the pilot had a gun, and he'd be shooting deer as well. There's that many of them out here. But anyway, Tim Wallace could see things happening in the future where they may possibly run out of deer, and he lobbied the government to start deer farming, and they laughed at him. But eventually they gave them the license to live capture deer, the stags, and start breeding. Of course, they've got antlers, and these guys were basically jumping out of helicopters on top of these stags, bulldogging them down, tying their legs. That's if they didn't get stabbed by an antler. And anyway, they developed a net where they shot it out of a big shotgun. This big net that went over the deer, tripped them up, and then they would capture them and take them to 6-foot deer fences so they couldn't jump over the fences. But deer can jump, believe me, they can jump more than 6 feet. If they can eye something up, that's why there's no lid. Mate of mine up in Rotorua there, he just sold it, just on 700.
Sitting on the bridge on the left here,
There's a couple here.
and then all the way on the right. I've never seen this many here in one place.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Gang of them.
Most I've ever seen at one time is 3.
You see the orange feathers underneath, but quite classy.
This is amazing. It's all at the top of the, still above us.
gang of them.
I wouldn't be surprised if one's on top of the coach right now.
Yeah. Oh, they do the hard case. You'll see them when we go into Milford. Sometimes they'll hop on a camper van and they'll sit on top, or they'll hang on top of the camper van as long as they possibly can. But people will go and have a photo opportunity.
Yeah, there was only two there, and one kid literally flew onto their coach and grabbed someone's bag and flew out with it. But it was a little bit too heavy, so I ended up dropping it just as they got out the door. But I've never seen anything like that. And then just one cow on the left. Bit different.
Bring your car around to this west coast, drop it off there and hide the keys somewhere, and then find it when you finish your walk over the Mount Copeland Pass.
But the white buffalo. Yes.
On the one-way bridge here. So all the kids wrote to Helen Clark, who was the Prime Minister at the time, to see if she could find the funding for this two-way bridge. And never heard anything from her and the government or anything, so they kept writing and started annoying her. And Helen Clark was, she loved hiking, and she was out on doing one of these tracks out here in the Southern Alps, and she was near the place, so she thought she'd go and have a visit to Jacobs River School. And in fact, while she was there was an accident on the one-way bridge, so she could see the problem. Anyway, she organised the funding for that two-way bridge that we've just come across, and then the next government got in and closed the school. There wasn't enough kids going to it. But schooling down here, the younger kids, they would all be doing correspondence. There's too many mountains.
Make sure you've got cameras. Make sure you got something, some sunglasses in case we have the windows open. And they'll let you know. Basically, they'll just tell you if you're warm, open the windows. If you're cold, close them. You know, you're all adults, so just work it out. The only thing I do have to say about those windows is that they do kind of meet in the middle. So if one window is open, that means that another window can't be. So it's a little bit of a flaw.
From Haast down through to Milford Sound, but as you can see, the country's pretty rugged, and that would have gone way over budget, I'd say. You see all the trees around this particular area, they're all leaning out to the left. That's because of the wind coming off the ocean here, just pushes everything over one way.
They also say that they're trying to lean away from Australia.
Way in the distance, about 1 o'clock at the coach up the front there, you'll see a little island out in the ocean there. There it is here. Just, about 1 o'clock at the coach. Now, back in the late 1800s, that was all covered in New Zealand fur seals, and they were sought after all over the South Island, and there's not so many up the North Island, but there were 23 sailors left off there. The ship dropped them off, said, we'll come back in a couple of days to pick you up. Get as many seals as you possibly can. So they went to work and clubbed to death hundreds of seals. But the boat never come back for them. They don't know what happened to it. They don't have a bridge.
Just down here is our start of the Haast River Safari. So you can see a little sort of camper vanning thing here. Just
Right,
at
but
the office,
Haast
and then
River
just on the
Safari.
left-hand side of it, there's two doors, a couple toilets there. Jump out and stretch your legs and everything. If you're not doing the trip, you'll be make sure you jump back on the coach. We've got a little bit of time here, guys. Once everyone's sort of paid, we get everyone to the boats.
Haast River
How about
Safari.
that one? Bye.